Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. I've been a pastor for a little over 35 years, and I haven't done the math, but sometimes I am amazed at all the sermons I have written over that time. While I don't remember most of them, there is one that I preach that I remember and is one of my favorites. It involved the story of the prophet Elisha and Naaman, the general of the army of a nearby country named Aram. Wait until you see the thanks and gratitude expressed in this one. As I said, Naaman was the general of the army in another country, and when he came down with leprosy, everyone was distraught. But Naaman had a slave girl from Israel, and she said, "Why don't you go to the prophet there in Israel to be cured?" Well, for kings and generals, it just couldn't be that simple. So Naaman's king wrote to the king of Israel saying, "I'm going to send Naaman to you to be cured of his leprosy." Well, the king of Israel about had a conniption. Leprosy was incurable. He thought that the king of Aram was setting up a task at which the king of Israel would fail, and then that would be an excuse for war against Israel. But when Elisha heard of it, he told the king, "Send him to me." When Naaman came to Elisha, Elisha didn't even come out and see this important man, but rather sent a servant out to tell him to dip 7 times in the Jordan River, and he would be cleansed. Well, Naaman was furious that he was treated this way, and said that certainly the rivers in his homeland were better than that measly creek called the Jordan, and he started home when his servants prevailed upon him to at least try. So he did, and sure enough, the leprosy was gone. So Naaman rushed back to Elisha, and this time Elisha did come out to see him. Naaman offered payment to Elisha for the healing, but Elisha refused. This wasn't Elisha's doing, but God's doing. Now, while you may be familiar with the story so far, this is the part you are unlikely to have heard of, and it's my favorite part of the story. At that point, when Elisha absolutely refuses any payment, Naaman asks another favor. He asks Elisha for 2 carts full of dirt to take back home, and Elisha gives them to him. Now, that may not make much sense to us, but you see, in that day they believed that a god had power only over his or her own land. It would be expected that the god of Aram would have power only in Aram, and the god of Israel would have power only in Israel. So Naaman tells Elisha that from now on he will give thanks and praise only to the God of Israel. He plans to take the dirt home and spread it in his courtyard so that he can go out every day, kneel down on the land of the God of Israel, and offer prayers of thanksgiving and praise. Naaman tells Elisha that because of his job, he will have to go in with his king to worship the Aramean gods, but it will be only a show. His heart belongs now and forever to the God of Israel. What a powerful, amazing story of gratitude and new faith. And in the same way, God has worked in our lives over and over, and we too are invited to live in gratitude and praise always. So, if you come to the church and ask me for some dirt, I'll probably say yes. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.